Imagine you haven't eaten for 2 days. You've tracked a herd and know exactly where it is. Then a heavy rainstorm begins. The tracks disappear, the ground becomes dangerous to walk on, rivers start flooding, and your fire begins to die. For ancient humans, rain wasn't just inconvenient. It could be life-threatening. Rain created major dangers. First was cold. A wet human loses body heat up to 25 times, faster than a dry one, making hypothermia a real risk. Second was flooding, as caves and shelters near rivers could suddenly fill with water. Archaeologists have found flood sediment inside occupied caves, showing some shelters became uninhabitable after storms. Third were predators. Animals also sought shelter from the rain, often entering the same caves as humans. In South Africa, archaeologists found human remains with leopard bite marks, proving these encounters could be deadly. The most important job during a storm was keeping the fire alive. Although humans had controlled fire for hundreds of thousands of years, they may not have been able to create it from scratch reliably. If a fire went out, relighting it could be extremely difficult. People protected fires by moving them deeper into caves, shielding them with hides, using dry wood from inside logs, and lighting birch bark, which burns even when wet. Ötzi the Iceman, who lived over 5,000 years ago, even carried a complete fire-making kit, showing how valuable fire was. Once the fire was safe, people couldn't simply wait for the rain to stop. They worked. Archaeological evidence shows caves were busy workshops. People shaped stone tools, repaired hunting equipment, and made useful items while staying sheltered. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, archaeologists discovered a 100,000-year-old ochre workshop where people mixed pigments using shells as containers. Around 61,000 years ago, bone needles appeared, allowing people to sew stronger clothing. Rainy days were also ideal for making rope, one of humanity's most important inventions. At Hohlfels Cave in Germany, archaeologists found a 35,000-year-old ivory tool designed specifically for twisting plant fibers into rope. Rope allowed people to build stronger shelters, make traps, and attach stone tools to wooden handles. People also improved their homes. At Sibudu Cave in South Africa, researchers found 77,000-year-old bedding made from grasses and insect-repelling plants. The bedding was regularly burned and replaced, showing that people cared about cleanliness and comfort, not just survival. But rain didn't only encourage practical work, it may also have encouraged creativity. Some of the world's greatest cave art, including paintings in Chauvet Cave in France and Sulawesi in Indonesia, was created deep inside caves by firelight. These paintings show incredible skill and careful observation of animals. While we can't prove they were painted during rainstorms, bad weather likely gave people long periods indoors to create art after they had finished other tasks. Rain also strengthened culture and communication. When groups of 15 to 30 such people stayed together around the fire for days, they shared knowledge and stories. Anthropologist Polly Weissner found that daytime conversations focused on practical matters, while nighttime conversations around the fire were mostly stories, songs, and traditions. Around the campfire, people taught younger generations where to find food and water, how to hunt, and how to survive. One remarkable example comes from Australian Aboriginal oral traditions, which accurately describes sea level changes from around 7,000 years ago. These stories survived for thousands of years without writing, showing how powerful storytelling was for preserving knowledge. Rain wasn't always bad, either. After storms, soft ground made animal tracks much easier to follow. Rain also filled water holes, encouraged mushrooms and edible plants to grow, softened soil for digging tubers, and caused protein-rich termites to swarm. Groups that understood these opportunities had a major survival advantage. So what did ancient humans do when it rained? They protected the fire that kept them alive. They made tools, clothing, rope, and bedding. They created art, shared stories, taught survival skills, and passed knowledge to future generations. When the rain finally stopped, they were better prepared than before. Rain didn't slow human progress, it may have helped create it. Those quiet days spent sheltering together gave humans the time to invent, learn, and strengthen their culture. In many ways, the creativity and cooperation developed during rainy days may be one of the biggest reasons our species survived.